Hey everyone, John Samez from simpleprogrammer.com, and I've got an important question for you this week. Have you ever tried to do something and then failed at it and then gone way off in the other direction? Well, if you have, you're not alone. It's pretty common. A lot of people struggle with this, myself included. So when you basically fail at something and then you go completely the opposite direction, it's what's called flying off the rails. There's a few other terms for this, but basically what happens is you're doing good, you're progressing at whatever you're trying to do. Maybe you're trying to lose weight or get in shape, or maybe you're trying to develop some kind of a good habit or working hard on some project, and then you have a day where you flub, you mess up, you eat that big piece of chocolate cake, you go into the Chinese buffet and you just eat 4 plates full of food and you think, that sucks. That's crap. I have done it so many times myself. And our tendency when we do this is to fly off the rail, to go the complete opposite direction, to say, well, you know what? I guess I failed, so I guess I'm just going to eat whatever I want, or I guess I'm going to do whatever I want because I've already screwed it up. It's all done. And this is such a destructive behavior because it screws you up. You can't now fix things because now you've gone so far in the opposite direction that you're going to have to come a long way back. So what's really important to do in these circumstances is to make sure that when you mess up, that you contain it. You don't screw up so bad. Don't all of a sudden think, hey, if I messed up, now I'm just going to go ahead and do whatever I want, because that just makes the problem worse. It's called damage control, and you got to get good at damage control because it's such an important thing. It makes a huge difference. Because here's one thing that you should always keep in mind. People are going to mess up. No matter what you're doing, you're going to fail at some point. You're not going to be able to do everything you try to do 100% successfully or faithfully all the time. If you start a new diet, if you start a new habit, you're going to mess up. You're going to have that one day where you just don't feel like running and you don't get out there and run. But what's going to determine your long-term success is going to be how fast you recover, how much damage control you do so you don't do as much damage. For example, if I overeat or something like that, I try to not do it as much. I mean, you're not going to stick to a diet perfect. You're not going to stick to any kind of lifestyle or choice perfectly, but can you minimize that damage? Can you make it so that when you do screw up, you don't screw up big? And if you do screw up big, hey, then the next day you work doubly hard to get back to where you were, or to make up for it. You don't go the opposite direction and dig a deeper hole for yourself. If you've ever heard of the term of digging a hole for yourself, that's what it means. It's when you have messed up, when you're already in a bad position, and you make it worse. And it's just a natural human tendency to do that. So hopefully this advice was helpful to you, and maybe, this is pretty obvious stuff, but maybe just listening to this video, watching this video, it made you aware of it, and maybe you'll think about it throughout this week and just think, don't dig a hole for yourself. Don't fly off the rails. Try to minimize damage and try to realize that you're going to mess up. It's going to happen, but when you do, make it as little impact as possible and try to minimize that damage. So don't forget to check out my website at simpleprogrammer.com, where I have a lot of blog posts on more programming related topics than I usually do in these videos, and I have actually a fitness podcast called Get Up and Code that you can check out at getupandcode.com. And hey, if you like these videos, subscribe and leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. Take care.